Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Reports have been coming about the reasons behind the delay for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I was considering doing an article, but usually I wait. I don't really do breaking news. I sometimes wait a day or two or just never do the video on it, and I forget. But this is one, let's wait on it a little bit, and I'm glad I did. I have opinions, and they haven't changed, but hey, we're going to talk about it. Rumors that, or I guess confirmed reports from inside sources. Take all those with a grain of salt, regardless of where they come from, unless they come from the horse's mouth themselves. In this case, Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed Shadows. That the delay to March, or even the original delay to February, now March, was to downplay Yasuke in the game, to remove some of his missions, his quests, and I'm sorry, I'm a normie, a pleb, a layman when it comes to video game development, but I cannot imagine at all that you could spend enough time in 3, 4, even 6 months to structurally change the dynamic of a video game when one of the main characters is in there, in the stories, in the environment, especially in the environment, where, those few little months, half a year or whatever, 3 months actually, November, October, November, yeah, moving on. But I don't believe that's enough time, not even if you applied the most insane amount of crunch onto the developers. But now, of course, today, we have an article over here from John F. Trent at Fandom Pulse. Rumors regarding changes to Yasuke and Assassin's Creed are allegedly part of a disinformation campaign. I haven't gotten too far into it, but the idea, excuse me, that the delay was to remove Yasuke, I don't think that's possible. Not even rubbing the genie on the lamp could have accomplished that. Alleged rumors regarding changes to Assassin's Creed Shadows, and specifically to Yasuke's role in the game, are allegedly part of a disinformation campaign from Ubisoft. What? So, is it possible? Is it genuinely possible? Now, all this information comes from different content creators' sources. They have to trust their sources and put the information out. Always take this stuff with a grain of salt, whether it's Endymion, John F. Trent, Smash JT, anyone, hell, even Gary with Nerdrotic, as much as their sources have been accurate with their information time and time again, always take it with a grain of salt, because you can only trust who you're getting the information from, and in this case, Endymion can trust the information he gets from his sources. Obviously, they're not going to reveal their sources, because then they would no longer be sources. Do you get it, ladies and gentlemen? In a recent video uploaded, YouTuber Endymion shared what an Ubisoft insider informed him. Again, we're getting a lot of insiders, and I find it interesting that if these are legitimate insiders, vetted, trustworthy insiders, this is all actually happening. People reaching out to Smash, reaching out to Endymion, reaching out to Nerdrotic, across the entertainment industry. What's going on at these studios? People, maybe it is true that the people behind the scenes who genuinely want to make entertainment, that still have that passion for what they're doing, for what they create, they want to get some information out. They want to get the truth out there. But then is it possible that one of these insiders is trying to muddy the waters, trying to throw a monkey wrench into things that we talk about, that we report on, to maybe sully a reputation here and there, perhaps? Again, grain of salt. Endymion says, quote, "As I was told by my source, the Yasuke removal stuff is smoke and mirrors," which wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, it is Ubisoft. They're crashing and burning. That's where you get the smoke from, the crash and the burn, according to them. Apparently, and again, take this part with a grain of salt. We're taking all kinds of stuff with a mountain of salt at this point. But this person is very tied to a lot of stuff. They always are. Again, I'm not sliding Endymion. I'll say that to his face on Twitter. But it's just, I'm a smartass. Okay, y'all know that. I have to. I can't help it. They said that Ubisoft has actually not removed much of any of the content about Yasuke in-game, which is 100% believable. Why would they? I think they would face far more backlash if it was proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that they bowed or bent the knee to those filthy, toxic, nasty man-baby gamers. They would get all the backlash from, well, the non-paying customers. He continued, quote, but instead they are simply lying. No, Endymion, say it ain't so. Ubisoft lie, the big mega corporation, AAA studio lie to try to drum up some press. Heaven forbid, say it ain't so. Lying about it to make it seem like they are listening to players' feedback. They don't care about us, which is odd because we're the paying customers. My insider told me that Ubisoft apparently has no plans to remake the Yasuke content, well, because the game is 8 years in development. You would be foolish to think otherwise. I'm sorry. If you're foolish. Don't believe it. 8 years. It's done and done. The maps, the climbing aspects, all the different extra spots, all the different mechanics that are required. It's impossible. Virtually impossible. Or logistically impossible. Context, because they feel as if they do, they will be seen as bending the knee, so to speak, to the online haters. Wait, I just said that. So the idea here is, according to my insider, is to lie, cheat, and steal about removing content to trick people into buying the game, thinking that they changed their ways. Well, I don't think gamers forgive and forget all that well. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going through a little bit of backlash because things were handled improperly. So, yeah, they're still facing backlash on that. Not too many people forgive and forget. Hell, even CD Projekt Red, outside of the inner workings of the office, still get criticism for Cyberpunk 2077. Again, for the release date, for the launch, yeah, deservedly so. Idea here is, according to my insiders, to lie about it. Read that already. Quote continues, yes, as I'm told, it's a marketing ploy. I hope it fails. Assassin's Creed Shadows, here's my take on this. I do firmly believe it's going to sell a whole bunch. It's going to sell a whole bunch. Will it sell as much as previous titles? Maybe not. But I think they'll make a decent enough money. I could be wrong. We'll see. I might eat crow. Because you got to figure most of the normie audience that is buying Assassin's Creed games because it's Assassin's Creed's. You know what I said. It's the same group of people that buy Madden every single year, that buy Call of Duty every single year, that buy Modern Warfare every single year, that buy the next regurgitation of the soccer game, the basketball game, no matter what. It's the same group over and over again. They're not overly critical. They don't pay attention to the nonsense that we talk about here online. Now, granted, our audiences are growing more and more every day, every week, every month, always. The message is getting out there because there is getting to a point where the normies are seeing the slop. They're paying attention to the slop. And, you know, we can only hope that eventually more and more people will stop pre-ordering, stop buying day one, and wait for legitimate reviews, waiting for people to put their money where their mouth is instead of begging for a gaming code online to review the game for free, in which case their opinion will be questionable, to say the least. So let's see, where was I? Ah, yes, the marketing ploy designed to trick players into believing that Ubisoft, but like I was saying, more people are looking for reviews. It's going to take a while. It's not going to be 100%. Hell, it may never even be 80%, 75%, or even 50%. But the number's growing, and that's all we need. This video comes in the wake of the report from Francisco Solbach at That Park Place, claiming Ubisoft made narrative cuts to reduce Yasuke's role in the game. Wait, you're not trying to attack That Park Place, are you, John? No, don't do that. It's just a mix-up in reports. Endymion has a source. Francesco, or Francesco? Which one it would be? Y'all let me know in the comments. Had a source. Who's right? Who's wrong? Makes you wonder who's going to trust their source and who's not. Let's see. He reported that Park Place source has confirmed Ubisoft delayed Assassin's Creed in order to make the narrative cuts that severely limit the role of Yasuke in the story. I saw that and I didn't believe it for a heartfelt second. He reiterated, according to our source, the $20 million delay of Assassin's Creed was not merely to polish the game, but to shift focus away from Yasuke as the main protagonist. This is similar to the report that they are erasing Yasuke from the promotional material when, in fact, the page in question, the page that was released over and over again, where the previous one had Yasuke and Naue on the cover, and then the next one just had Naue. The problem with that is it is apparently a very specific page that I could not, for the love of me, find. that you had to find on the store. You had to follow a direct link to it, because all I did was go to Ubisoft.com, and there it was, Nawe and Yasuke, right there on the front page. And it's like, well, maybe I thought, maybe perhaps go to the pre-order link. Nope, pre-order link, Nawe and Yasuke, right there, front and center. No one was minimized. Yasuke was not disappeared or othered or thinned from the Star Wars poster. So be careful with what you report. Do a little more vetting, maybe. I don't see Ubisoft erasing or minimizing Yasuke in any way, shape, or form, outside of maybe some of the I guess the closest thing they did was the developer direct, where, you know, the dog happened to be racist against Japanese people and didn't want to be petted. A lovely little bug that they showed off for the world. But all the other promotional material, all the combat styles and everything, Yasuke's been there front and center. So I genuinely don't know what everyone's talking about, claiming that Yasuke's being erased. But hey, we're allowed to disagree. And the fun part is we don't ignore people. We don't ignore each other when we disagree with each other's opinions. We actually have discussions, unlike, you know, that other side that just likes to block and ignore. Anyway, back to the article. Solbach noted that parts of the game that were cut included quests tied to his supposed rise as a samurai, as well as dialogue changes where Yasuke was previously presented as a samurai and celebrated for his renown among Japanese NPCs. There is one thing I did hear that I was not able to confirm. In the American marketing for the game, Yasuke is called a samurai. However, in the Japanese marketing for the game, and I would appreciate if y'all in the comment section could find this for me, because I would love to see it. This is, again, something I heard. I believe it was on another live stream. It may have been side scrollers, perhaps. But they said in the Japanese marketing for it, Yasuke is described as a great warrior. Now, if this is true, that's an interesting little piece of marketing that I think more people should definitely be talking about. Like I said, find it for me. Find it for me, because I want to talk about it. I want to show it off. The article continues. He also shared that one source informed him that, quote, the most egregious inaccuracies were related to Yasuke's portrayal, and efforts were made to mitigate these issues, which is statistically, logistically impossible to do in only a few months. Rumor came in the wake of a previous report from Todd Henderson at Insider Gaming at the end of September, where he reported that Ubisoft was changing some of Yasuke's story and how he's portrayed in the game. I'm going to stop right there and let y'all read the rest of the article for yourselves. Post the link in the description box down below. But again, think about the time frame. Think about how long it took this game to be made in development. 8 years, right? I believe that's the going total right now. Delaying the game for November, I'm going backwards. December, January, February. Now 4 months. 3 to 4 months. Yes, I did that on my fingers. Leave me alone. Delaying an 8-year in development game for 4 months to fundamentally change dialogue, quest lines, mechanics in the game is logistically impossible. I should say logistically improbable to accomplish, especially in such a short period of time. We already know how much of a buggy mess this will be. First of all, it will be Ubisoft, and it's coming on the heels of Star Wars Outlaw. That was a buggy mess of terrible. The AI was horrendous. I've already seen fight scenes with Yasuke beating on an NPC that just stood there and did nothing. That is a problem. This game is going to have far more problems with it, I do believe, than just Yasuke, the so-called, maybe perhaps not really, could have been a samurai. So, but again, link to the article down in the description box down below. Thank you for making it this far. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things us YouTubers beg you to do. Share it with your friends, share it with your enemies, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.